Yo, what's going on, YouTube? This is just a little recap of my trade session today. I know I haven't made a video in a long time. It's because I was in like a learning progress of like something new that I recently started learning. It's called quality theory, and I feel like it's it really deals with time and like preciseness and like entering trades, and like every trade you take is like A plus. So it's been helping me, and I can't really go into too deep into it. I'm just gonna be a little pretty like basic about it when I'm recapping my trade. Because I am in a mentorship, so I don't want to like expose them or like give out the information because I'm paying for it. But I'll just explain Monday's price action and why this happened and why I feel like it happened. Um, so basically, um, so in QT or quarterly theory, we go based off something we call AMDX and XAMD. So it's basically A is just accumulation, M is just manipulation, D is just distribution, and X is expansion. Every day, every quarter, every year is cut up into different cycles. Um, so I trade daily cycles, obviously. So because I'm a day trader, so you'll cut up every price action throughout the day into quarters. So I'm gonna just do that real quick, and it's just like the daily cycle happens on the 15 minute, and it's every 6 hours. So this is quarter one, this is quarter two, quarter three, and then quarter four. So basically, the reason why I said XCMD is because this X is meaning expansion. So it's basically during this quarter, this price action, price expanded, right? Because there was no engineering liquidity, price just went straight one way, right? So I'll call that expansion. I'm just gonna mark that out so it looks pretty neat for you guys who don't understand. And I said this is A for accumulation because price accumulated here. Just gonna put A for accumulation, and then D for distribution. Price went, or no, M. This is manipulation. So price manipulated above these highs because during accumulation quarter, price makes highs and lows, so it basically engineers liquidity. And the next quarter after that, Q3, being the New York session, manipulates over that engineer liquidity and targets a certain level, right? So this is the quarter that I trade, and I also trade sometimes distribution, but this is distribution, I guess. This is a bad example, but today was pretty rough. So distribution meaning like it either continues that way or just goes a certain way. So that's basically it for AMDX. Basically, you use this every day to determine how price is going to move during the session you trade. It's very useful. Um, and let me just get into like this quarter, specifically the New York session. So if we let's just remove this real quick. Let's get into the 5 minute to see it close up. So market opened here. So initially I wanted to just see this high get taken out. We had a bunch of like accumulation during this period. As you like to call it, high resistance liquidity runs, HRR loss. That's basically just accumulation, and it's when the wicks are larger than the bodies. So the reason why I like tape a tape red depth right here is because um initially when price got to this point right here, um the high, the short term high was taken on YM and wasn't taken on ES or NQ yet. So we put in a SSMT. Now SSMT is like a whole other thing, but it's basically like a sequential SMT between two quarters, right? So there was an SSMT put in, WSMT. Then if it was above the highs, bearish, right? So it was a bearish WSSMT, which is just a weekly cycle SSMT. And the weekly cycle is within the hourly. I know I'm bad at explaining things, but I'm just trying to like explain it the best way I can. I'm sorry if I'm explaining it really bad. But WCSMT on the hour is just an hourly SSMT, and it happens between the two weekly cycle quarters. So the 15-minute that we just finished doing with the cycles with the different lines, that was the daily cycle quarter, right? That's what happens within a day. The weekly cycle is what happens within a week. The month cycle, what happens within the month, and then yearly, you get so far. So like, so going back to the 5-minute, that's called the 90-minute cycle, the 5-minute cycle. So after this WCSMT gets put in, I feel like, okay, we're probably gonna go down a little bit, right? So I then see something else get put in. I I don't know how to explain this, but it's something called DFR. It's just like the range to know where price is gonna like retrace to, or like how far it's gonna go up to in that case. So I so price is gonna go up, went up 400 points since open, I guess. And it's just like the swing. So I saw how price tapped that perfectly at that high right here. And I used that as a confluence. I didn't enter the trade, but I used that as a confluence. That like, okay, we're probably gonna go lower, adding the SMT, the bearish SMT with the DFR tapping that the tick. So I go under 1 minute. I see another 5-minute first, and then I saw that there was a TCISD. It's just a quarterly theory type of CISD. But I marked out both the TCISDs, and initially I would enter off one of them. There was actually two entries. There was one at the first, the 5-minute TCISD, and the second entry would have been here. And then you could target either this low or like I think I targeted True New York, or I think it was TMSO. Yeah, it might be TMSO or TNY, either one. But pretty clean trade. 10 point stop loss, top tick. I know, but so like I know none of y'all really, or whoever's watched really got what I'm saying, but this is how I trade now. I trade with position. I trade with low frequency. I don't trade every day. So back testing this is definitely gonna be difficult. So I'm gonna do more recaps than actual back testing. I'm gonna try and explain some types of terminologies regarding QT. Maybe you guys can learn it like I do. Um, but there is a lot to it. And so far, I have basically a 90% win rate since I've joined the mentorship, and it's been like amazing. I recently just passed my Apex account with using this, and it's been really nice. So this week I didn't trade, but tomorrow I'm probably gonna trade. Since tomorrow it's probably gonna be an accumulation quarter, so on the weekly cycle. So I don't know if I'm gonna trade that because like that's how resistance liquidity run like HRLR. So I'm probably gonna like be careful with that. Probably trade like one contract or something. But yeah, that's basically what I got to say for now. And let me know what y'all think in the comments. And if y'all need help on like starting trading out, I can help y'all out. So you for whoever's watching. I hope y'all have a blessed day. Thank you.